What's up, world? I'm Sade. Welcome back to my Astro Series channel. And today we are going into Saturn. I personally really like this planet. Saturn is not a fun planet. And as a fellow Earth sign, we all know Earth signs love to work, and that is what Saturn is about. So before we go deeper into Saturn, let's backtrack on what Saturn represents. Saturn is the planet ruler of Capricorn, and it is also the co-planet ruler of Aquarius, which I will dive deeper into in our next astro segment. Saturn loves to be in the 10th house, but it can also be in the 11th house since it is the co-ruler of Aquarius. Saturn also does pretty well in the 7th house, which is the house of Libra. Okay, what is Saturn all about? And what is this thing called with the Saturn return? So Saturn is the planet of time and the planet of karma and duty, responsibility, and really the father, the person who is disciplining you. So if we think about the opposite house, right? The opposite house of where Saturn is placed is Cancer. And Cancer, in the 4th house, you have the moon. And the moon is about being emotionally available, emotional nourishment, psychic ability, intuition. The opposite of that is Saturn. And Saturn is about, I have to punish you even though I don't want to see you in pain, but I have to punish you because you have not been taking heed of my direction. It is the paternal energy. It's the energy of what are you supposed to be doing in this lifetime? And if you're not doing it by the time I return, which is around 28 to 31, around that age bracket, then I have to pull the rug from underneath you and you now have to feel the raft. And because Saturn is ruling an earth element, Saturn's raft is very cold, very cold. And when you are in the process of your Saturn return, there are a lot of things that can be wiped out of your life without any type of closure. And that's really because when Saturn comes back into the sign that it was in when you were born, it is here to teach you that you have to now pay for the things that you have done. And that doesn't mean that it's bad, right? If you sowed good seeds, then you're going to reap great reward. But 9 times out of 10, by the time you're 28, 29, most people haven't really, been steadfast in their career or their profession or their duty more so. Most people are just learning how to walk around that time. So that age bracket, usually it becomes a difficult time for people because so many things are being brought to the forefront as to why it can no longer work. And remember, with dealing with earth energy, Mother Nature does not ask for permission before she removes things or before she switches cycles, right? So with Saturn, with working with Saturn energy, I find that anytime you're resisting what Saturn is trying to teach you, you will cause more pain onto your life because Saturn is not about how you feel. Saturn is about what is supposed to be done, what is correct, what is right, what do you need to do? And wherever you have Saturn in your chart, it will signify an area where you will have obstacles and challenges. Because remember, we talked about Capricorn being ruled by the goat and sea goat, half goat, half sea goat, and being the ruler of the knees. And if you think about the knees and the goat, it's about the climber, the person who climbs their way up to success. When you have Saturn somewhere, it means a person is who's going to have to wait a little bit before they reach that top. So if you have Saturn in your 10th house, like myself, I have Saturn in the 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. That means that the duties that you are here to do pertaining to your career is not going to come overnight. You have to work day and day and build. And it's going to feel like you're never getting anywhere, right? Because Saturn is slow. It's not fast like Mercury or Mars. It's very slow. So you have to take your time and be steadfast in your purpose so that you can reap that reward. Now, say for instance, if you possibly have Saturn maybe located in the 1st house, I personally feel like whenever a person is a Capricorn rising or has Saturn in the 1st house, this is a very challenging house to have Saturn because it means a person who really asserts themselves with duty. Everything in life pertains to duty for these types of people. And the way you can say this if I compare it to an opposite sign. So let's say if you have Leo in the first house or the sun in the first house, you're going to assert yourself enjoying life, right? Enjoying the beauty of life and creating and showcasing that and shining. Place Saturn in there, and this person is going to view their life as being very mundane, and never really seeing that they're reaping reward. Now, a great thing about having Saturn in the first house, Capricorn energy rules the skeletal, the body. So having Saturn in that first house is a person who is bringing vitality, the way they assert themselves, internal vitality, so not needing anything from other people and willing to do the work to get things done. However, I do notice when I encounter people with Cap risings as well as with Saturn in that first house, these people can never feel like they're getting a break. Everything feels like a climb and a rise. However, these people are very responsible, very dutiful, very honest, and very visionary. They see the bigger picture. They see how something can actually be of use for more than just the community, but maybe even generations at large. One thing to really understand about Saturn is not here to keep you in pain. Saturn is here to really transition you so that you can be the highest of your potential, because the 10th house is located at the peak of the zodiac compass, and that's what Saturn wants for you. It wants to bring you to that top of what you're supposed to be doing. So you might have to go through some pain in order to get there, but once you start to resist what Saturn is teaching you and what Saturn is showing you, that's when it will really feel like a long process of just misery. Trust me. One thing I've learned from having my Saturn in the 10th house and being in my Saturn return is you just have to do the work. And as a fellow earth sign, for me, this is not that challenging, being a Virgo sun Taurus rising. However, it's not always fun, but you can find ways to have fun with it by tapping into the 4th house, tapping into that Cancerian house, and seeing where the moon is located in your chart can really help to balance out, especially if you're in your Saturn return, balancing out that energy, finding enjoyment in the opposite sector, taking some time to nurture yourself and take care of yourself while you do what you are here to do in this lifetime. All right, that's all we have for the beautiful planet of Saturn. It is truly a rewarding planet when you see it as such and allow it to teach you. Saturn is here to teach you your karma so that you hopefully don't end up repeating the same thing again. My name is Sade. Next, we are diving into the 11th house, lovely sign of Aquarius, which is really the energy that we are in right now, this Aquarian Saturn energy, as well as the planet Uranus, that is the modern ruler of Aquarius. Thanks for coming to my series today. My name is Sade, and I will check you out for our next segment.